Humankind has already opened Pandora's box. From here on, there's no turning back, and the future we look forward to is digital. Technological innovations in artificial intelligence, machine learning, cryptocurrency, NFT, and the metaverse are changing the world beyond imagination. Do you ever think about what the future entails and has in store for us? What kind of skill set would students need to survive and thrive in this rapidly changing world? The answer is money management and entrepreneurial skills that will equip students to overcome unknown challenges that may lie ahead. Most parents agree that their attitude towards learning finance is inadequate and they don't want their children to make the same mistake. Equipping ourselves with financial knowledge and entrepreneurship know-how is a must. Even the most basic knowledge like the 50-30-20 rule for financial planning and budgeting, and the time value of money would prove crucial when we want future stability for our kids. Financial education is a critical life skill that in the school education system gets overlooked. Also, parents often neglect the importance of such education for their children, especially when time and resources are limited. They would just make do with content found on social media platforms, making students uninterested. So how can our children be financially wise? Education10x provides a solution. Educating the young money skills in their formative years provides many opportunities to practice and apply them in real life, thus making it perfect. Education10x curriculum is designed by experts from the world's best financial institutions like Harvard, IIM Calcutta, and NYU. We have highly qualified and trained tutors and follow an international grade program that is super fun and interactive. It includes games, quizzes, in-session activities, case studies, projects and virtual simulations. So, what are you waiting for? Join our live one-to-one program now. Be future ready through financial literacy. Be 10x certified, now.
So how was the video?
Humankind has already opened Pandora's box.
Just a second, guys. Yeah, how was the video?
It was a pretty cool video.
Nice. Okay. So for now, we have students from over 25 plus countries. And so as you all are already our students, you guys know that these are one-on-one classes. Okay. And our classes are very interactive. We include quizzes and everything. We have assignments also, which are very fun to do. So for now, we have 3 courses: beginners, 30 live sessions; foundation, 60 live session; and certification, 150 live session. So for the beginner course, we cover topic like money mantras, introduction to money and finance management, understanding of banking and insurance, introduction to investing. Then for the foundation course, we cover topics like hands-on equity, cryptocurrency bootcamp, early entrepreneurship, and then we have the certification course, which includes topics like analyzing investing, advanced cryptocurrency, hands-on entrepreneurship, and case studies. So over to you, Rituparna.
Hi everyone. So myself Rituparna. So today I'm going to introduce you all to our speaker. So our speaker for today is Mr. Ronak Agarwal. So he's a qualified chartered accountant who has an experience of more than 4 years in the field of financial planning and analysis. So he has worked with companies like Citigroup, Deloitte, L&T, and also he is a data and cryptocurrency enthusiast. So apart from all these, he is a very passionate teacher, and I hope you will enjoy today's masterclass with him. So over to you, Ronak.
All right. Thank you so much, Rituparna, for that introduction. So how are we doing today, students, kids from everywhere?
Doing great. Great.
All right. Can I see more faces? Can I see more videos turned on? Because I can see only few of you have turned on your videos. Can I request all of you to turn on your videos? We are going to have so much fun today. We are going to discuss so many things. So let's do it face to face. Yes, I can see some more students now coming up on video. All right. Okay. So before we start talking about whatever we want to talk about today, let us, make sure that we are making the best of this session. And whenever you guys have any doubt, feel free to ask a question. You have a raise hand option on the chat box. You can put your question on the chat box. We are all here to answer your questions, right? And whenever you understand something, what we are going to do is I'm going to ask you to raise your thumbs up of your right hand. And if you don't understand something, you can do a thumbs down with your left hand. Okay? Have you all understood that? Can I see the first thumbs up with the right hand? Right. Some of the students are getting confused between right and left. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Great.
because I didn't mirror my video.
All right. All right. Perfect. So if you all want me to start, I want to see a double thumbs up from both of your hands, and we'll start with the session today. Great, great. All right. So on that note, let me start with sharing my screen and let's start talking about what do we have in store for us, right? So the thing that we are going to talk about today is data, right? Now you guys would have heard about what is data and something or the other about data. But what we are going to focus today is first of all, what is data and how to use it to make decisions, right? How can you use data to take decisions in your life? Why is data privacy important? And how to use data in your everyday life. Okay. So on that note, let us start with the table of contents. This is what we are going to follow. The thing that we are going to learn today is, first of all, what is data? Secondly, what is data privacy? Then the decisions made using data. And lastly, how data can help you in real life. So kids, I would request you all to make sure that you are listening absolutely carefully, because at the end of the session, there is a quiz for all of you, depending upon what topics we are doing. And as you are already knowing, we have gifts and surprises for the top 5 winners of the quiz, right? So do make sure that you're listening to everything that I'm talking about. Do make sure that you're answering questions while in the session, and you are also asking questions wherever you have doubts. All right. So on that note, the first topic for the day is what is data. Now, before going into the technical definition of what is data and learning about it, let me ask you simple questions. Does your teacher record your attendance, or have a record of your marks, or do you keep a record of your friend's phone number? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then you already have data in front of you.
Right. Sir, all of us would be answering with yes.
Right, absolutely. And that is why we already have data in front of us, because recording your attendance or recording your marks or even recording your friends' phone numbers or addresses or names, these are all part of data, right? So data is any information, anything that you record as a process is considered as data. So any record of any activity that has been done in this world is data. Now it's as simple as that, right? And wherever you collect this and wherever you keep this, that particular place is considered as a database. It could be online, it could be offline. So wherever you have collated the data, the collection of your data basically is considered as a database. Okay. So on that, let us take an example. For example, the score that you get in maths is some form of data, right? But your report card that consists of every score that you have received is a database, because that report card becomes a collection of the data about your scores in different exams, right? So that is again another example of a data and a database. Okay. Now imagine everything you do, right? Right from every small activity to every big activity, like buying an ice cream or walking 100 meters, you are generating data all the time. Okay. Time for some guessing. Can you guess how much data do you generate in a single day? I want to see some guesses on the chat box. Do you guys understand the data calculating units like MBs or GBs of data?
Sir.
Yes.
Yes. So I want you to guess how much data do you generate every day? How much data in terms of MBs, GBs, TBs? How much data do you think we generate on a daily basis? Okay. And unlimited is an open-ended answer. Let's try to put a number to it.
Okay.
Yes, I see.
I put up a very wild guess of 1 terabyte.
Hundreds of terabytes.
Okay. 2.5 GB, 4 GB, 50 GB, 10,000 GB. Okay. 100.
It could be 2.5 quintillion bytes.
Right. So many people have so many opinion about how much data do we create on a daily basis.
56 petabytes. That's a large yes.
Yes, somebody is mentioning petabytes. Let me tell you, petabytes is actually a measuring unit which comes after terabyte also. It's a
Yes,
very
sir.
good unit that we have mentioned.
15 zeros.
Correct, correct, correct. Okay, I got enough answers. Let me break it to you. First of all, I'm going to tell you we create 1.7 MBs of data every second. Okay, now this is every second. When I convert this into every day, it becomes 144 GB. Okay, a lot of you were close. Somebody had mentioned 100 GBs, 50 GBs. So a lot of you were close to 144 GB. But imagine that is the amount of data that we create on a daily basis, right? So do we all agree that we are surrounded with data?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Everything is
All
very
right.
dependent on.
All right. All right. So for our next activity, I want a volunteer who is going to speak and I'm going to hear them. Who's ready to volunteer for this?
I am.
All right. Can you please tell us your name?
Inaya.
All right, Inaya. So for all of us, this activity, let me again share my screen, and this time I'm going to show you an Excel sheet. Okay. So in this Excel sheet, I'm going to record your responses to the activity that I'm doing here. So the activity is simple. All of you have to mention your birthday month in the chat box. Don't start yet. Along with the birthday month, I want you all to also mention your initials, right? For example, if I am Ronak Agrawal, my name's initial would be RA, right? So similarly, everybody on the chat box should be writing their initials and their birthday months. Okay?
Okay.
Wait before I tell you to start. Okay, somebody has already written it. I only want the month and the initials, and Inaya will be calling it out to me, and I will be recording it in an Excel sheet. Okay.
All right. One by one, please.
All right, Inaya, go ahead.
You don't have to necessarily write the date, I guess.
Yeah,
Hold
you
on.
can tell me the months, whatever you say.
Okay, February, MA.
MA, February.
From a person with the screen name Amandeep Sharma.
Yeah, you can avoid the names. You can go with initials.
All right. March, VMV.
March. Go on, go on.
VMV. Sir V.
Yeah, it's on different here because I'm using a different laptop and the one I use had a really bad microphone.
No problem, no problem.
SPV January. Next one.
What did you say is the initial?
SPV.
SPV. Perfect. Keep going.
All right. GM July.
Perfect.
All right. V September.
Okay, I just heard the V.
Yeah, that's what I found. JO December.
Right.
That works. All right. Who else has AS September?
Okay.
DK December.
Okay.
That's kind of coincidence. DK. Oh wow. 113. Wow. All right. That's a very large list. What's the spam?
Where are you stuck?
All right, slow. RS August.
RS August. Okay.
I just picked one from the chat because people are sending messages at a very fast rate.
Okay, keep whatever you see.
Somebody sent January, but without initials. The screen name is Ahmed, so we can just go with A.
Okay.
T July.
V again.
T.
T.
Sir,
Okay.
T. Yeah. NKA November.
Okay.
NKA.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's fair.
All right. SV March.
Okay, I want just two more.
Just two more, okay. VV January.
Okay.
PS March.
Perfect. All right. So guys, what I wanted to show you is that every unit that we've entered over here, right? The count is basically, let me just take a quick count here. So if you look at the count here, it is 15. So all of these are 15 data points. And this entire sheet, which contains this entire information for us, becomes our database. So every single information about you can be a data. And if we put that data together in some form, in some sheet together, then that something is considered as a database. Now I'll show you, if we try to look at this data, what this data can give us is how many students have their birthdays in whichever months. See, if we create the data in a structured format, the data can give us answers to so many questions. If you look at this, we have created a pivot table that is not the session about, but if you look at the data itself, the data has now the data is now giving you meaningful information, because we had a database. We used the database to identify how many students are having birthdays in each of the months, right? So this is how we use data, and this is also how we create a database. Okay, time for a thumbs up. Are we looking for a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Okay, a few thumbs up are there.
I'm using my right hand and I mirrored my video this time.
All right, perfect. Okay, thank you so much. Do we have any questions at this point?
No, sir.
All right, okay. So let us keep moving forward. I'm again going to share my screen and we'll again look at the deck. Okay. Now, there are two types of data. Okay, there is qualitative data and there is quantitative data, right? Before we, before I tell you what is qualitative data and quantitative data, I'm going to give you all a chance to explain to everybody what is qualitative data. Okay. Now, I want you to raise hand. There is an option to raise hand on Zoom. Just use that, and the first people to raise hand, I'm going to ask them to answer.
Okay, I did.
Okay, so as per my record, Vaishnavi was the first one to raise hand. Vaishnavi, please tell us, what do you understand by qualitative data?
So qualitative data describes data. For example, we use months as qualitative data.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Or adjectives are qualitative data.
That is true as well. So that is correct. When we look at qualitative data, it is descriptive in nature. It is informative in nature. It describes something. Okay. If I say Inaya is a very talkative person, okay, then this is a description about him, and this is a qualitative set of data. I'm not saying he is, and even if it is, it may be a positive quality, right? I'm just trying to give you an example. Okay. I'm going to go back to the previous slide, and I want to see raised hands now for quantitative data. Who can explain that? Okay, Ivana, you can go.
Quantitative data is the data in numbers, like our marks for each subject.
Correct. Absolutely correct. So quantitative data is mostly numbers, numericals, and that gives us numerical information about one thing or the other. So data simply can be classified into two categories. One is qualitative, the other is quantitative. Qualitative data describes a person, describes something. As somebody mentioned, most adjectives are examples of qualitative data, right? However, quantitative data is numerical in nature. We see numbers and we see financial data mostly in quantitative form. Some more examples, right? So when we talk about qualitative data, looking at my pet, okay, he is brown and black, he has long hair, he has lots of energy. Okay, so this is an example. These are rather examples of qualitative data. When we look at quantitative, we are talking about he has 4 legs, he has 2 brothers, his weight is 25.5 kgs, and he's 565 mm tall, right? So these are all numbers, and that is why these kind of data is considered as quantitative in nature.
Yes, sir.
Some more examples for you, right? Qualitative data could be like your friend's favorite holiday destination, or adjectives that we use in daily life, or how people describe the smell of a new perfume. All of these are examples of qualitative data. Okay, and quantitative data could be like petals on a flower, or customers in a shop, or somebody's height or weight, etc., are all examples of quantitative data. Okay, so before we move on to data privacy, which is our second topic for the day, do you guys have any questions on what is data, what is database, or the types of data that we did?
Sir, continuous data is data that has like intermediate ranges, right?
That is true. Discrete data is something that points to a certain number, whereas continuous data is something that refers to a range of data.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
No problem. Is there any other question?
No, sir.
No.
Perfect. So let's move on to the next topic for the day, which is data privacy. Okay. So when we talk about data, you'll have to understand that why and who collects our data. Okay. So first of all, you should know that smart people and businesses collect data to make smart decisions. The decisions made after carefully analyzing the data are called data-driven decisions. And these kind of decisions are, expected to be performing much better than the decisions which are not data-driven. Okay. Can you think of an example? Okay. I want to see raised hands. I will be taking first person who's raising hand. So tell me an example. Okay. Inaya has already raised hand. Mandy has raised hand. My question has not even come in yet, but people know the answer. Very nice. We have a very smart batch of kids right here. Okay. So I want M also to put your hand down for now. Let me complete my question and then I'll take the raised hands. Okay. My question is, you guys have to give me an example of a business that uses data to drive its decisions.
Apple.
Don't answer. I want raised hands. Okay. I'm going to take Dhruv Kishan's answer first because his hand came up first. Go ahead, Dhruv. Dhruv, I can't hear you. Is that only me or it's applicable to all of us?
Sorry, we can't hear him. I can't hear him either. I can't speak for anyone else. But yeah, I can't hear him.
Dhruv, do you want to write your answer on the chat box because we are not able to hear you? Okay, while Dhruv is typing, Aniket, you can go next.
Yeah, so an example of this can be like, let's say if you're watching YouTube and you're watching this certain like specific video, let's say about like football skills or something like that. YouTube will see how much you're watching, how much of that you're watching, and will give more recommendations when you first open the website.
Correct. Very good. Fair enough. Tushar, you can go next.
My example is Facebook. If we search some particular things on Facebook, we will continuously get ads for that. So they are collecting our data.
Correct. Very good, Tushar. Okay, Aryan, tell me what is your example here?
It's the same.
It's the same. Okay, no problem. I think it's Rishika next. Rishika Savla, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Google. Okay. Yes, absolutely correct example. Shaswat.
Yeah. So like
So Sasha, your answer already
Zomato collects data.
Zomato
collects data, and then it'll based on how many foods you order, and then it'll give some recommendations of where you can go and order.
Correct. Okay, very good. Fair enough. Vaishnavi, you can go last, and then I'll take something from the chat if there is anything.
Social media platforms like Instagram take our personal information like data and then provide us with the like-minded people to follow.
Yeah, that
Correct.
They keep track of our online activity to do so, and
Yes.
that's data as well.
Correct. So in the interest of time, I will be able to only take this many answers, but whoever answer has not been, whoever has not got the chance to speak up, please put your answer on the chat box. Any AI company or banks, they do collect our data. Yes, Google does it, Facebook does it, Amazon does it. Okay, right, absolutely correct. So what a smart set of answers I've got. All of you have pointed out absolutely correct examples of how data is being used by different businesses. In some cases they target ads. In some cases, they'll recommend things. And you don't, somebody mentioned that if we search something on Facebook's ads are personalized. It's not only limited to Facebook itself. If you're searching something on Amazon, that also something, comes up as an ad when you're using some other websites and other applications, right?
So one more thing. Facebook sells data for profit. Sorry.
Yes. Facebook has been accused. I won't say yes or no, but Facebook has been accused of doing such things in the past. I'm not saying whether it's a yes or a no in real, but it is something that people have been talking about. Okay. All right.
One more thing, sir.
Please tell me.
Sir, and here we means when we go out on means shopping, etc., we get some lucky draw coupons, and when we put our information in that coupons, our data is also means going to people those who we don't know, and they can use it illegally, and they can sell it to hackers also.
So it's not always the case, but it could be a case, right? You may come across such people who will try to take data from you from one source or the other, and that is where we are talking about data privacy, right? So you should make sure that you are not giving your critical information or personal information to anybody who is coming up asking.
Strangers. And you also have to make sure that the source who is asking for your data is a verified source.
Correct, absolutely correct. You do have to verify the source or the people who are looking for the data. So basis that, we have to make sure that data that we create every time can be collected by multiple organizations, and it can be used for multiple different purposes. And that's why we should be absolutely careful while sharing any of our personal data. Did you know why every restaurant would ask for your name and number while creating an order? It's because they create they keep a tab on what things you have ordered, how many of it you have ordered, and you won't believe, they'll send out regular messages of offers and everything that happens, any sale that they have come up with, or any other offer or anything that has come up in the restaurant that is new. For all of those things, they will be sending you regular updates to make sure that they're reaching out to you and making sure that their income is being generated every now and then, with more and more people coming in, right?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. Now look at this. You would have all received a lot of spamming deals, right? So we have created a meme on this. The brands using your data, they keep on spamming us with a lot of deals. We want them to stop, but they don't really seem to stop, right? So this meme is trying to tell us the story of how our data is being used to get as many deals as possible, to us. Even if we do not want them, we just keep on getting spam emails or spam messages all throughout the day from these people, right? Now let us take a look at the big players in the field of data collection, right? You guys have highlighted I think almost all of these, but let me still reiterate those for for the ones who would not have heard. So first, Google. It does collect your data, personalized ads, etc. happens. Governments across the world also collect your data, and they decide on how to use your data in the interest of the country. And then social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they're all using your data. Shopping platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, etc. are doing the same thing. Streaming platforms like YouTube or Spotify are doing the same thing. And even payment platforms like PayPal and Google Pay are collecting your data for one or the other reason, right? So it is fair to say that data is everywhere now, correct? So they know about you more than you know about yourself. Such organizations have the power to know a lot about you, including your basic details about your name, your phone number, where you are, your bank account details, or what you bought recently, or what are you planning to buy next, right? Even if you have added something to your wish list, that is also something that they come to know about, right? In fact, a very strange thing happened with one of my me and my friends. We were discussing about a very new restaurant in our locality, and we were discussing about it during our lunch time, when we were not even using it to chat or or on a phone. But you won't believe, after a couple of hours, two of us actually got the advertisement of that restaurant on our phones. So you never know what level of data collection is happening, right? Not just the data that you are sharing, but not even the data that you are discussing with your friends offline may also be tracked, and you never know, right? So data collection is something that is everywhere. So what happens is, you have to be careful that, do they know they have so much, do you know that they have so much data about you that it might be dangerous, right? Somebody a while back mentioned something about hacking, right? That is another example of how too much access to your data could prove dangerous to you. Exposure of so much data, so much of your personal data can breach your privacy, can give them access to things that you do not want to give them access to, and this can hamper your financial as well as personal records. So you should make sure that your data is not getting out of hands, right? You should keep a track on what is being shared and where is it being shared. So on this, let us watch a video and try to understand more about how this data works. And why should we keep our focus on data privacy. But before I do that, I think there are some things that on the that are on the chat box. Okay, they are all answers to who collects data, so they are all correct. Let's keep moving forward, and I'm going to play the video now.
Most people know.
Okay, is the voice also audible from the video?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, slow, but yeah, we can hear it.
Yes. People know that Facebook has information about them. We submit things like our names, our hometowns, our ages, our birthdays, and our interests, and we assume that Facebook is collecting that data. But Facebook has much more data on most people than they realize. Facebook can take all the data that you submit and combine it with data from other users and outside information to construct a profile of you. Facebook uses nearly 100 different data points to classify your interests and activities. This would include basic stuff like your age and gender, but also more complicated information like whether you own a motorcycle or you recently went on vacation, or whether you're a gadget geek. Researchers have found that by using signals such as your likes and interactions, Facebook could tell if you were in a relationship or going through a breakup. Facebook doesn't just know who you are, it also knows where you are. If you have location tracking turned on, Facebook collects an enormous amount of location data about where you're going, where you came from, where you live, where you work, what restaurants and businesses you tend to go to, and they use this information to target ads at you. And location data could reveal other people who live in your house, even if you're not connected to them on Facebook. Now, obviously, Facebook knows what its users buy when they click on ads from Facebook. But what most people don't realize is that they have ways of tracking your offline purchases as well. For many years, Facebook has had partnerships with data brokers that collected information about people's purchases. So, for example, if you buy a burrito with your credit card, Facebook could know about that transaction, match it with a credit card that you've added to Facebook or Facebook Messenger, and start showing you ads for indigestion medicine. One of the most controversial parts of Facebook data collection is a feature called People You May Know. And this is where Facebook uses many different signals of what it knows about you to determine who else you might be connected to. And this is not always things that you share with Facebook. It might be contacts in your phone. It might be people who have been in the same room as you. Facebook was using location data to recommend friends. So it might have been recommending people who share a doctor with you or work in the same building. Facebook can also be used to compile data about your political activity, like protests or marches you go to. In one case in 2016, the ACLU found that 500 police organizations had signed up for a service called Geophilia, which scraped data from social networks like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to help officers look for users who might be in a specific location or attending a specific protest. For example, Geophilia claimed it helped the Baltimore Police Department monitor and respond to the protests after the death of Freddie Gray. Facebook doesn't just know who you are, where you are, and what you buy. It also can be used to figure out what kinds of things you might do in the future, to predict life outcomes, like whether you will be addicted to substances, whether you will switch political parties, whether you're physically healthy or physically unhealthy. These are all part of the information that advertisers love to know because it helps them better target users. Most people know that Facebook.
Right. So looking at the video, Facebook does not seem like just a social media platform anymore, right? It has other avenues of business. It can become an astrologer, for example, right? So
Yes,
that is what we are trying to highlight when it comes to data privacy, that you know that when you are on any social media platform, so much of your data is being given to the organization which is handling the data, right? Which is handling the platform. So you have to be very careful that what kind of data you want to give, right? Until and unless it is just targeting ads to you, or personalized ads are coming to you, or personalized suggestions of new videos or new pages to follow or new likes or dislikes, till that point it is fair enough, right? but you do have to make sure that your data, your personal information, which can give access to people to the records that you do not want to reveal, do make sure that you're keeping that data completely off Facebook or any social media platform, right? This is what applies. This is where data privacy comes into picture. Privacy rights ensure we have control over our data. If it's your data, you should have the control over it, right? Privacy rights dictate that your data can only be used in ways you agree to, and that you can access any information about yourself. So it means that if some or the other wrongdoing is being done using your data, then it is against your rights, right? You can raise your voice, you can point it out to the relevant authority and make sure that such things are not happening. Okay. Let's ask the man himself what he feels about the data privacy. So looking at the previous video, who do you think we should be reaching out to asking this question?
Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes, exactly. So
I
we'll
would
be
have said
asking.
Facebook, but I remembered that the company is now called Meta.
Correct. The name has now changed to Meta for different reasons. But let's see, what questions we can ask Mark Zuckerberg. Okay.
Mr. Zuckerberg, would you be comfortable sharing with us the name of the hotel you stayed in last night?
No.
If you've messaged anybody this week, would you share with us the names of the people you've messaged?
Senator, no, I would probably not choose to do that publicly here.
I think that might be what this is all about. Your right to privacy, the limits of your right to privacy, and how much you give away in modern America in the name of, quote, connecting people around the world. Question basically of what information Facebook's collecting, who they're sending it to, and whether they ever asked me in advance my permission to do that. Is that a fair thing for a user of Facebook to expect? Mr. Zuckerberg?
Right. So let's have a poll. Before we look into this meme, I want you all to mention on the chat box, is it fair or unfair of any social media platform to use your data to for personal gains or for the gain of their businesses?
Very.
I'm going to pick up one response which says fair, because it's a unique one. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, right? We are just here to learn. So I want to see who's that person. Shashant V, right? Shashant, can you please turn on your mic and tell us what is your opinion on this? Shashant, can you hear me, or was that just a typo? Okay, I think Shashant is not able to answer that. I think Shweta also mentioned fair. Shweta, can we hear it from you?
I think it's fair because they let us use their platform for free, and it's only fair if they get some gain in return.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I want to correct it.
Can we take that counter response in just a bit? I want to hear from a couple of other people who have highlighted fair. Okay. Gautam, can you also tell us why do you think it's fair for Facebook to use our data?
They also have to make some profit some way or the other. So that's why I also thought that.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Let me see if somebody else also has a similar opinion. Yes, I think there's Shaza Rifaz. Shaza, can you tell us what is your opinion on this?
I think it's fair because number one, they give us these apps for free, and we also know about these problems from the internet. They're talking about it, and we still download it, so it's from our own choice.
Okay, fair enough. Right. Okay, one more answer for fair. Arav, can you also highlight your opinion on this? And while Arav is responding, I want you all to raise your hand or keep your hands raised if you want to answer, counter the answer for fair. Just raise your hand if you want to answer, if you have a counter response to why is it unfair, or rather a counter to why is it fair. But I'm waiting for Arav first to mention why did he mention fair?
That was a typo.
Arav, I could not hear you. Sorry.
That was a typo.
That was a typo. No problem. Vihan, was it the same case with you, or do you have a logic behind that?
No, sir, I have a logic behind that.
Please go ahead and tell us.
So, sir, the main social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, their main business model is actually to collect data through AI or through taking permission about the privacy.
Okay.
And so if they don't do that, they're basically like a non-profit organization if they stop taking any sort of data from you. And sir, it is very obvious that people actually like to be connected and feel it's good that we can connect through social media. So no one wants social media to close or it to be like a paid app.
Correct. Okay.
So there is no other way, like we can lessen the amount of data they can collect from us.
Okay.
Add some barriers, but it won't be possible to start social media platforms without at least some level of data collection.
Okay. Okay. So right now I'm not responding to any of you because I want people amongst you only to respond. So I'm going to give this opportunity first of all to Rastin, or is it Restin? Okay, he has lowered his hand.
It's Justin.
Rastin, go ahead, Rastin. Tell us.
So someone said that it was fair because they give the apps for free, but many people are uninformed about the fact that they take so much data. So it's unfair to regular people because many don't know.
Okay. Okay. All right. What about Sharan?
I think it's fair, sir, because they're actually giving us news from all over the world. They're giving us facilities to chat with people and know more news about the world. But then at the same time, I don't. I don't think it's fair because if they want to keep the data, they can keep the data. But they should be a little bit careful about who they're giving my data to, because it can be safe for me if my accounts get frozen by people who want my money. Then it won't be okay if I get a download the app for free, but then I have to pay a lot of money to the because the people sold my data, and to get my data back I have to pay the people who took my data. So it won't be fair and will be fair at the same time. So I think they shouldn't sell the data. I think they should keep the data safe with them somewhere. And if they don't want to pay the prices, then they shouldn't take data at all.
All right. Okay, I take your point. I also want to hear from Shri Vaishnavi.
Yes. So one person told that like that's the only way of making profit for the company by selling the data, but the company also makes profit by actually selling advertisements and all those things. So I think that's not the only way they can make money. So I think it's unfair.
Okay, fair enough. Amandeep Sharma.
Yes, sir. So I want to say that the people who said that Facebook is for free. So first thing I want to clear is that Facebook is not free. It takes you two things. First of all, it takes your time and it takes your intellectual property. So if you think that your time is not money, and so that's the reason you're saying that Facebook is free. And yes, another thing, one person added that they make money by advertisements and many more things by selling their data. So by this we can conclude that it is not free at all.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to take two more responses. One from Urvi.
So according to me, it's both fair and unfair. Like you said, you were offline with your friends and you weren't texting, but still the conversation you had was heard. So according to me, whatever I'm texting, or if that data is taken, it's still fine. I know it's being taken, so I'm putting it up there. But when I'm having offline conversations, I choose not to put it on the app, or I choose not to put it. I don't want anyone to take the data. The reason the conversation is being held offline, so it's unfair that way.
Right. Makes sense. I didn't realize there's a very heated debate already going on in the chat box as well. Okay, I'm going to take Arav now because I see his hand being raised for quite some time now.
I think I think that even if they give us free apps, they shouldn't be allowed to take our private information. You should only allow trusted companies to use your information. So it's balanced, basically, like Facebook, Instagram, those types of companies are trusted. They won't do anything with your information. But other apps, like for example Truecaller or something, they can do some stuff with your information. So, like they can go undercover and do bad things with your information. So it's balanced, unfair and fair at the same time.
Right. Okay, in the interest of time, I will have to move forward. But in conclusion, what we can say is, there is no clear answer to whether it's fair or unfair, but it is a fact. More or less, it is a fact, right? Now, when we know that some such things are happening, what we can do as an individual is do make sure that our data is being, our important or critical data is not being spread around, right? So do make sure that you're keeping your secrets with yourself and not putting it on Facebook chats or Facebook pages or any of that information is going out, right? So that's one way of looking at it. Yes, is somebody trying to say something?
I was simply responding.
Yeah, okay. All right, so on that note, I see a lot of other raised hands as well, but more questions are coming in, so I'm going to take your responses on that. Would request everybody to lower your hand at this moment and also put up your thoughts on the chat box, so we can go through, all of us can go through that as well. Moving on, we have decisions made using data. So data-driven decision making.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Who was it? Okay. So we are talking about data-driven decision making now, which is defined as using facts, metrics, and data to guide strategic business decisions that align with your goals, objectives, and initiatives. So this is what data-driven decision making means, that you can use this data, basically you use data to take decisions, and the data could be in the form of facts, it could be in the form of numbers, it could be in the form of matrix, or anything of that sort could be considered as a data. And when you use that to make your decisions, such decisions are considered as data driven decisions. Now, what are some of the advantages of data driven decisions? Without me showing it to you, I want all of you to put it on the chat box. What do you think are the advantages of data driven decisions? Okay, who is our fastest finger first? What do you think is the advantage of data-driven decision making? More accurate, perfect. We can get higher accuracy. Okay, past trends correlate to future, perfect. Customized content, accurate decision making.
उसके में ऐसे कवर ऑटोमेटिकली खोलो, तो इसके वाले में हाथ डाल के खोलना पड़ता है ना मैं।
Accuracy, efficiency, effectiveness, perfect. Higher accuracy or success rate, perfect. Reasonable decision accuracy, saves time. Okay, perfect. Very good, healthy answers again. So we'll look at it one by one. One is confident decisions. Whenever you're talking about something and you have done your research on that, you already know the data behind it, you will be speaking with much more confidence. You'll know that what you're saying is correct, and when you can back it up with data, you are able to make an impact to the people, right? Because people will be listening to you more carefully when you're talking about data, using data. So anything that you talk about, it gives you confidence to talk about it. If you've done your research, if you have the backing data, and if you have your sources ready, then your data becomes, or your presentation becomes, much more effective. So confident decision making. Cost cutting, somebody already said, it takes lesser time, and if time is reducing, as somebody already mentioned in the previous examples, that time is money, right? So if you're reducing time involved in any activity, that also results in cost cutting as well. Secondly, if you look at some of the responses, one of the most impactful initiatives according to the survey is using data to decrease the expenses, and many have seen value from their projects. Because if you already are using some data basis which you are taking decisions, you know what is a possible outcome of a situation. And when you are doing a research on your own, when you are trying to do something new on your own without having any prior data about it, then whatever comes up may be a surprise to you. So you should know that whatever you are doing, whatever decisions you are taking, or whatever steps you are going to take in future, they are backed by data-driven research. All right. Clear feedback for market research. If we follow a data-driven path, we'll know that in the past whether such a product has come in. For example, if we want to come up with a new product, right? We will check whether such a product has come in the past, whether the customers have reacted positively to such a product. If not, what were the reasons? All of these things help you to come up with better solutions to the problems that we are facing, right? Amazon is in fact one of the biggest examples of companies making money through data. For example, e-commerce magic revealed, e-commerce sites typically use your data, including, to drive profits and sales. If you have ever shopped on Amazon, you have probably received a product recommendation while visiting the Amazon website or through email. This happens with all of us. Can we see a right hand thumbs up if you agree? All right. Some people are still doing the left, or is it still because their Zoom video is not mirrored? Okay, I see most of you are using your right hand to give me that thumbs up. So yes, this is what happens. Whenever we are using any online shopping platform, they will come up with recommendations not only on the app itself, but when you're using other apps also, Amazon will pop in their ad there, and they'll show you what recommendations they have for your next purchases, right? Even the things which are there in your wish list are coming up as advertisements when you're using some other applications, right? This is how they are trying to induce us into buying things that they want to sell, right? And that is how data driven decisions is helping a platform like Amazon, right? Is there any question or any doubt at this point? I see some hands. Okay, I see some people have raised their hands. Is it from the previous question, or is it like they have some doubt? If you do not have a doubt at this point, please lower your hand. I see Shaunak, Vihan, and Amandeep. If you do not have anything to mention, please lower your hand. There is an option to lower your hand as well. That will give me more clarity. All right, Shaunak, is there something that you want to share, or you're not finding the option to lower your hand? Okay, now he has found it. So he didn't answer to me, but he lowered his hand. So that brings us to the end of the third discussion that we had in our list today about data and how data-driven decisions are taken. Now, the next one that we have is how data can be used. How data can be used in our daily lives. Okay. Right. So how data can be used in our daily lives. Again, this is something that I will open up for the forum. Please raise your hand. I want to hear a couple of opinions on this. How can you use data in your daily life? Whoever wants to answer, please raise your hand.
Sir, I think saving passwords is a really helpful thing in data, because you have so many you sign into so many accounts and apps where you need passwords, and Google can actually help you save the passwords and the accounts and all the other stuff.
Okay. Okay. Let's go in the sequence now. Tushar, you can start.
So my example would be taking data of how we are spending our money, what we are spending on money more, so that we can differentiate what is our need and want, and we can cost cut it. So we can save more time and also our expenses.
Wow, excellent, Tushar. Let me ask you, are you already with us on 10x?
What?
Are you already studying with us on 10x?
I have taken one class, like one.
Needs and wants, right? I could see that in your response. Perfect. Very good answer, Tushar. Let's hear it from Vaishnavi now.
We can analyze data to invest in stocks, bonds, and all.
Excellent. Very good. Awesome. All right, Inaya, you can go next.
Take an example from the financial literacy classes. Our net cash flow is like a database of our total cash flow, inflow and outflow.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Right. Sashwat.
Uh, I have two actually. One is how Duolingo uses how Duolingo uses the data to see how much of the course you have completed.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying that the data that you're that Duolingo is recording for you, that is what you're using in your life. That's okay. Fair. All right, Ivana, you can go next.
In our daily life, we can use it to save our information, and also when we are buying something, before buying something, we can check up all the data on it, and that will make us make accurate choices, better choices.
Excellent. Very good. Russell? Rustin, we can't hear you. If you're speaking anything, you're on mute.
PayPal saves your info. So if you ever want to make a purchase online, you can just press one button and it will be made instead of typing in your password and email and everything.
Okay. Somebody has also mentioned on the chat box, saving passwords, saving your information. Business uses data like sales to decide their business objectives. Okay. iCloud keychain. Apple saves all your passwords on your keychain from all the websites and apps. Okay. It can be saved, used to save your information. Perfect. Okay, all of those are perfect examples of how data can be used in your personal life. Let's see what the slide offers to us now, right? Now that we know the importance of data, it's privacy. What about all about data, importance of data privacy, importance of data itself. Let's look at some more examples. For example, education, right? So if you analyze your performance or if you look at your report card, you will know which areas you want improvements in, right? If you look up at what universities you have as an option, if you look up at the website of Education10x, you'll come to know so much more about learning new things, right? So these are all examples of how education, how data can help you, achieve greater success in the field of education. In the field of healthcare, your doctors or your medical practitioners will know whatever data is pertaining to you. They'll analyze that, and accordingly, they can suggest you different solutions to the problems, right? So healthcare is another segment where it is very helpful that you have your data in place, and that helps your doctors and everybody to be able to take informed data driven decisions. Then when it comes to the government needs a lot of data to be able to come up with good welfare schemes. For example, if the government comes to know that in a particular geographical region, the economic progress has not been very good, or there are not enough schools for kids, or there are not enough drinking water facilities, or the drinking water quality is bad, because it could be the numbers or it could be the quality as well, because we've seen data could be qualitative as well as quantitative. So welfare schemes which are come up, which are created by the government or even by the non-profit organizations like NGOs, etc., they are all driven by data. They come to know about problems and they try to solve them. And the problems they come to know about are all in the form of data, right? Entertainment, yes, entertainment is our favorite category, right? In this category, data is definitely something that helps us. For example, when you're using a Hotstar premium account or you're using Netflix, they keep a record of what you have watched in the past and they'll recommend you similar shows and similar movies, right? That's one example of how entertainment is something that is driven by data. Not only that, when you talk about Spotify or YouTube, right, they are also giving you recommendations based on your past search history, etc. And that's how entertainment is another field where data is playing a very important role. In fact, when we talk about Spotify, it is the biggest example of data that is used in the world of entertainment. Now, how has it become the go-to app for music? So Spotify, it has an on-demand music providing platform which uses big data analytics, collects data from all of its users around the globe, and then uses the analyzed data to give informed music recommendations and suggestions to every individual user. Just like what I was mentioning about Facebook, about YouTube, about Netflix, it is also something that is being followed by Spotify, right? So this is about data, data privacy, databases, how we can use it, what are data-driven decisions, right? So before I start asking you questions through the form of quizzes, time for you to ask me quizzes on the topics that we have covered so far. So if you guys have any questions or any doubts on anything that we have discussed, please ask.
Yes, sir. So I
Yes.
want to ask a general question.
Yes, please introduce yourself first. I can't see you yet.
Yes, sir. 1 second. Yes, sir. So
Okay.
I want to ask a question on means Amazon or means any type of shopping sites. So here we have to fill our means particulars like means the phone number, etc. That's all fine. But when we have to put our means home address, so means that also that data is also collected. So means that data is also shared to some other etc. company, or it is safe with the company.
Are you saying that the data that you are saving on Amazon, are they sharing it with other people
Yes,
or
sir.
outside? See,
That
ideally,
means like an address.
correct, I get it.
Main
So
thing are
ideally,
address.
yes, I understand. See, ideally, what happens, Amandeep, is that they are not supposed to share it, right? There may be one way or the other that these businesses are getting access to your data, but they are not supposed to share your data, outrightly to any organization that comes up asking for it. Right, so that's the official stance that they take, that they're not sharing it with anybody without our permission. But there may be situations where you may come across that some organization is trying to reach out to you when you have never ever given your information to that organization, right? So these organizations have their way around to find data at different places, but they are not officially allowed to share your data from one organization to the other directly. Okay, is there any other question?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
No, sir.
All right. So since you guys have no other questions, time for me to throw some questions at you. And as I had already told you that this quiz that we are doing towards the end of this session is going to decide who will be our top 5 winners, right? Let me tell you, the winners will be decided on 2 criteria. One, who gives most correct answers. Secondly, the one who does it in the least amount of time. So you've got to be correct as well as quick. Are you all ready? Can we see a double thumbs up for one last time? Okay, perfect. So let me share the link of the quiz. I hope you know how to use it, but for the larger audience, I'm going to tell you the process to start the quiz. I'm going to share a link on the chat box now. You all have to go to the link, enter your name, and start the quiz. Do make sure that you're writing your full name, because if you win the quiz, we want to identify you, right?
Can you please send the code?
What's the question again?
Can you please send the code as well?
You want me to send the link, right? That is what I'm doing.
The code.
The code. Okay, fair enough. I'll share the link as well as the code, because I think some people have issues in directly joining through the link. So that's the link, and here is the code for the link.
Here.
All right. Please make sure that you're joining as quickly as possible. We have 67 odd participants right now, so I want all of you to join as soon as possible.
Yes, sir. I've joined. Let's go.
Sir, it's still loading.
No problem. I'm going to wait for another 60 seconds. I can see 36 odd participants already joined.
How many? 41? Okay, total 42. 43.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
My full name wasn't acceptable, so I skipped a letter.
Okay, no problem. All right, the quiz platform is filling fast. I'm going to wait for last 30 seconds before I start.
So my name is just Ahmed inside it. I don't know how to change it. It's
Okay,
not
no
my
problem.
How do I enter my full name?
No problem. Whoever comes up to, at the top, I'm going to call out the names. We are all going to have them on video, so we'll just cross verify. Okay. So don't worry about the names. That is something that I just told you, so that we have the data with us. But I'll just call out the names once we have the winners, right? And then you guys can tell me who is it. Works? Okay, I think we are set to start now in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
And I have clicked on start.
Okay, Arif wrote in the chat box that it's not loading. Arif, is it working for you now?
All right, I think we have a lot of answers already, but we'll still wait for others to answer.
Finished it. I finished.
Okay, I think we waited enough
Sir,
time to.
I finished.
Yeah, please go on. I'll wait for another 30 seconds. Please go on. Dhruv is disappointed that he has got second. I'm not sure, Dhruv. I've not announced the results yet. Okay, Inaya is again a little surprised with his result. Okay, we'll take Paul's opinion on the portal as well. Okay, I think we're all done now. Yes, it seems like we are all done. I have the results in front of me. So I'm going to share the top 5 now. Are you all excited?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go for it. Can you all see the top 5? We have Dhruv, Vihan, Gautam, Shahad, and Aryan. Can we have all of these people on the video? And let's start with their videos. Can you all just call out your name so that you'll be at the top? Call out your own names.
Yes.
Gautam.
Gautam, okay.
Vihan.
Okay, I heard Vihan. Deepa or Eduparna, is it possible to pin them on the screen?
Sure, guys, all the winners can raise their hand and then I'll pin them on the screen.
All right, so we are waiting for Dhruv, Vihan, Gautam, Shahad, and Aryan. to raise your hands so that we can all see you. Yes, I can see all of you at the top row. Very well done, guys. Very well done to all of you as well, because we have an overall 90% accuracy, which is amazing, right? So a double thumbs up to our winners first of all. Yes, and a virtual high five to all of us for doing so well. Right. Absolutely well done, guys. Absolutely well done. And we have the winners. I think we can see them at the top as well. So, Deepa, I hope you have made a note of this.
Congratulations,
Also
guys.
yes. So congratulations, all of you. One thing, Ronak, if you can share the screen again, and the top 5 winners, if you can take a picture of this, then it will be good.
Yeah. So what we can do right now, since I've closed the platform, Rituparna, what we'll do is we'll take a screenshot of this screen where these 5 people have raised their hands already, right?
Sure. And all 5 of you, can you please share your email IDs in the chat box? And about the prizes, let me tell you, the prize will be like you all will be getting Amazon vouchers worth $10, and you will receive the vouchers via email tomorrow.
All right. Amazing. Congratulations, guys. While Rituparna or Deepa are taking a screenshot of you all, please mention your email IDs. I can see 4 of you have already done that. Who's left? Who has not shared, Rituparna? Gautam has shared, Dhruv has shared, Vihan has shared, and Aryan has shared. Shahad has not shared, right?
Shahad is left.
Okay, so for all of you, let us tell you that we are taking this data, but we are not giving it out to Facebook or any other organization, right? This is only to make sure that you are receiving your due awards and rewards for doing so well. Okay, and like I said, very well done to all of you as well, because these people were not the only ones who had answered all the 10 questions correctly, right? There were others also, but the platform had picked up the first 5. So these were, the winners.
Also depends on the time.
Okay. All right. Amazing. So this is what I had to share with all of you. I will be handing over the baton back to Rituparna and Deepa to have some more discussions with you. While I stay back, in the meantime, if you guys have any questions, I'm still here, and you can definitely ask me a question right here, or you can definitely join the platform and meet us all there, and ask your questions there as well. Over to you, Deepa and Rituparna.
Thank you, Ronak, and it was a wonderful session and very much informative, even for me. So I just wanted to know few of your reviews, guys. How was the session, and do you think it was informative, and have you learned something?
Yes, ma'am. It was a very informative and fun session.
Great. Anybody else?
I also thought it was very informative.
Great. Okay, then it's really great that you all have joined. So before we end this call, I just wanted to explain you how to the new students how you have to book your demos in case you want to know about Education 10x courses, or you want to know how we are conducting our classes. Then you can take the demo classes, and it is for free of cost. And let me share the screen with you, and then I'll tell you how you can book the demo classes. Yeah, so this is the website, education10x.com. If you go there, there's this box, book a free class. Click on this. Book a free class. Now you can see, right?
Ma'am.
Yes. So book a free class. Give your parents' number and choose your grade. If you have laptop, then choose yes. Schedule a free class, and then you can select any time slot. Okay. So that's all I wanted to share. And so I can also see a lot of good reviews are coming. So thank you so much, guys, that you have joined. And hopefully we will conduct more such master classes for you all. Okay. And yeah, that's it. Deepa, you want to add something?
So I think that's all. I hope you guys have enjoyed the session, and thank you so much, Ronak, for this session. It was honestly very informative, much needed.
Right, I enjoyed it likewise. I can see I'm literally overwhelmed with the response that all of you have given me. So keep doing well, keep your data secured, and be financially smart. And I would like to see all of you who are not already on the platform, on this wonderful platform. I would like to see all of you coming on board with us. And obviously the ones who are already there, they already know what a wonderful platform we are having, how much fun we have in all our classes as well. All of these quizzes and these projects and activities are not just limited to today. They're going to happen in all the classes as well, right? So keep learning and keep up the good work, guys. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
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 Right, if there is any other question from you guys, you can ask that, or you can leave the chat.
No, sir, I'm good.
All right, thank you so much, Inaya.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.
And thank you for the session.
No problem, it was my pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, bye-bye.